Invoker needs to like crush mid. I mean, it's definitely, you know, favored for him. Zeus trading, you know, that kind of stuff. Wants to, you know, press some Q, hit some farm. But I feel like Invoker just needs to like totally crush it, rotate in with this whole Tusk, Vengeful Spirit, Phoenix thing, get the ball rolling nice and early. None of this like Midas, Phoenix business. I mean, you can get one, but be active. I feel like they need to take a lot of fights early. Some good stuff, you know. I was up when I was doing this yesterday. The old Gareth. That. And that's pretty much it, you know. Getting some time to actually play some Dota. That's always fun. Oh, like 8K or something.
Prepare for
battle. Just right up there, you know. Me and Badman. Just I stole some away from him the other day, so. Yeah. No. I'm not up there. It's true, I could. I'm far East Coast, but I might have to. I don't know. Now that all picks back. No, I'm not that high. The road is real. See you on rank match. Hi. No, don't worry about me. Yeah, I figured that maybe he wants to see hi. Like maybe hi is watching.
30 seconds to battle.
Maybe. Alright. I made sure to turn on Dota TV. That's on. You know, it's the, you know, you know what I need to do? This is actually what I need to do. I need to just create a Smurf. I don't have a Smurf. I know lots of people do, but I don't really see the point.
Right.
But, I need to create a Smurf that is solely for casting. That way I don't have to switch between my playing settings and my casting settings in Dota.
Yeah, I eventually just gave up and just use like my casting camera all the time, and then but it's so slow in comparison.
Yeah, I've kind of I did that too. It's not good for play, but you can also turn off your Dota TV by the way.
Oh, excellent.
You go through me. Alright, so they're gonna do an aggro dual lane. I mean, this is the right idea. This is definitely the right idea. Their dual lane is strong enough to contest Spectre and their defensive tri-lane without dying to it. Meanwhile, they actually have a chance to win bottom lane. Fortunately, they don't have Sunray yet, but they do have a good old Phoenix dive that's going to be able to slow down our lone Druid. And they'll get a lot of right clicks on him. He shouldn't go too far, though. Phoenix has no armor to start with, and Fairy Fire going to be popped last second. But they're not going to be able to get the kill. They just force the lone Druid back.
Yeah, I would say this is probably the best that the lanes could have worked out for the side of Execration. Like, they're kind of getting everything they want right now. A little bit of pressure on the Phoenix, or rather, a little bit of pressure on the Spectre, and then, of course, the low Druid not just going to have a totally safe bottom lane or anything like that. Hopefully they can get a couple kills and at least try and force them, like, back in that jungle, and then maybe contest them there, too. But Chemo's might be in trouble here.
And they're going to jump on Vengeful Spirit, stun, and that'll be our first blood. Not much that our Weaver can really do about that one. They really had to play careful in their positioning, and Vengeful Spirit very clearly getting caught out. Definitely needs to play the hard left side of this lane. If you're just a dual lane versus a tri-lane, there's no reason to I think, go jungle. It's just very likely you're going to get caught out. Vengeful Spirit full of fire after that death. Right back in and throws the magic missile.
Just like, that's it. That's my threat, you know?
Oh.
Don't cancel my clarity when I need to pop that now, guys, please.
Alright, we have level 3 on the Phoenix. This is good kill time for Phoenix. A big upgrade in damage for the Fire Spirits. So if they can actually get Snowball on Tusk, they could probably kill the Lone Druid rather easily. We'll have to see.
Yeah, and of course they, some admin, but yeah, I want to say, oh, this could be it. Yeah, this is it right here. There we go. Get that
EMP blocked out. Yamate just he doesn't want to luck.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way you get out of that one.
He was doing well too. He was winning in CS quite handily. Like the fact that he had 4 denies as a Zeus.
I mean, that's godlike right there. I don't even know how that happens.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure most people don't get 4 denies if they're like alone in the mid lane as Zeus. That hero has an awful attack animation.
So he ends up going Quas Wex with a Weaver Phoenix. Man, they're like, I feel like they're so lacking on the damage, but they win every single fight that he gets EMP off. That's kind of the trade.
Stun. I mean, that Ice Shard's really is going to do much. The Snowball will do a little bit more, but Spectre is going to be able to get out. Get a lot of damage from that Silencer. I wonder if Silencer is Arcane Cursed is worth maxing first.
It used to be one of those things, well, I mean, when it was the old version, that it always seemed kind of worth versus dual and tri-lanes. Especially tri-lanes, because you could always like kind of get more value out of it.
Uh-huh.
In terms of maxing, I think you could max it versus a Weaver. That seems pretty sick. Kind of like time dilation in that same sort of a sense. And it's like how good it's going to be versus a Weaver constantly spamming Shikuchi.
Yeah. I mean, Weaver, when you have Shikuchi maxed out, is a 6-second cooldown. And Silencer's Arcane Curse, the penalty is 4 seconds. So you can actually prolong the Arcane Curse by a pretty significant amount just from him spamming Shikuchi. Tusk gonna go for another gank on mid lane. This time around, though, our line is sitting behind Yamate and waiting for the counter gank. They're actually gonna go for a smoke here and rotate to the bottom lane. Kind of surprising.
Yeah, I almost feel like Lone Druid wants to like force a dive or something right now, even. Just because like it seems like it'd be more important to get that HP down. Can they? I mean, at least they have full vision thanks to creep wave.
They should be able to, unless our Phoenix is fast enough. Gets into the trees, gonna be hit by the impale, and is buried dead. That's oh man, he's already got Arcane Boots on Lion. I didn't even notice that.
Did he end up getting the first blood?
I can only presume, because he's
Yeah,
101.
so.
He's
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, he totally did.
he has an awful large amount of farm.
That's a good ward down bottom too. That actually makes this rotation. Not only the fact they got the kill, but that ward is going to be huge, I think, for the Lone Druid spotting like Tusk rotating in.
Yeah.
And try and get that Midas at a respectable time for him. He's also gone total poverty, at least for now. There's no boots on the bear or anything like that. We had some odd Lone Druid builds. We had like phase boots on bear before Radiance yesterday with SCA, and I was very surprised.
Was it were they dealing with like a really aggressive lineup that was fighting them a lot, or?
Nah, it wasn't that. It was slightly questionable, but they came back at one, so it was fine.
Was he bad at CSing?
I don't know. I feel like he just hadn't played Lone Druid in a while. It was like going back to old school builds. That was my logic to it. It worked out okay.
Tusk. Oh no, he doesn't get off the snowball. And well, he does still get off the snowball, but this fight is getting real awkward real quickly. It looks like our Lion's definitely dead. He is hit by the tornado and ends up falling. Now, cold snap on Yamate, plus the Sun Ray. That's going to be max amount of stuns, plus the EMP blast. Just enough to be able to get the kill. You can get a lot of damage on the Spirit Bear in the process. Top lane, our Spectre scoots away with another dagger. Weaver somehow thought he was going to be able to get one more round of right clicks if he just Shikuchi close enough to the trees, but not the case there. It's a lot of damage from the Silencer.
They're really gonna kill the Spectre. It's like so depressing when you're committing so much to this. Like at least the Weaver's getting okay.
Oh no!
That was questionable. That was just dagger timed at the same time as Thunder God's Wrath.
Oh, the bear? No, it's alive. It's alive. It's all good. So no fast Midas for our Phoenix. Had to go for the Tranquil Boots to stay in lane. Not terribly surprising though. You'd have to be destroying as this Phoenix to be able to go Midas first.
Yeah, I think Tusk would have basically had to like sit down bottom over and over. I'm actually, you know, did he level up the Arcane Curse? Yeah, he did. I think this is actually going to be really good because Nando's also going for like the greed where you don't even get the boots or like treads or anything on your Weaver, like the bootless build. I think about how useless he's going to be every time he can't Shikuchi, or he's just going to like keep Shikuching and kill himself.
Yeah. I like this build as well. Mind the fact that they should have some really easy kill power with the Global Silence when it's up. Comboed with the Spectre ult and the Zeus ult. I mean, they could probably do 400 global damage at any point, just based off of that.
Alright, here we go. 4-man dive.
Ice Shard's kind of scouting things out. Ling's already behind the tower, though.
Alright, that bed's done. It's like, no, this ain't happening. Okay, good, he's just getting courier. We're still a go up here. Mission kill Spectres online. This is very obvious, though. Yeah. Like, Ice Shards come in, no Invoker mid, they even have a ward, giving that extra vision there. Oh
yeah,
man.
Honestly, this is just a bad idea. Any time you kind of like stall out in like
bad idea.
In professional play, right? If you just like stall out, we're like, all right, guys, just we're still gonna go for that gank. Just wait for it. We'll find our opening. Like that never goes right because the enemy team will only give you that opening if they're trying to bait you. In which case, you can see Execration. They're gonna quickly be comboed up with the global power of Taring. They're gonna reveal the Weaver. He does have another Shikuchi. Pops the ultimate. That does. Wonder if Arcane Curse was gone by then, or if Time-Lapse gets rid of Arcane Curse.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one. Silencer obviously not being here, we get to see all too much.
Either way.
That was a really good play from Taring, just to take total advantage of that. Like the fact that they saw a bad TP into the mid lane. And it's like, okay, well, he's not coming up top, let's go. And Zeus just immediately counter TPs. I feel like they could have gotten the Weaver too, but Ice actually didn't go for the sentry, so I don't know if they would just want to save it or something, or figured he was a little bit too slippery, but at least Nando survives is pretty much the most important thing here.
Ice will not survive. Bond's only able to do so much for him. Look at that. Arcane Curse lasting forever. Not that it's dealing much damage against the Classic Invoker. Pretty much out-healing the damage, but sure did last a long time. Give that much.
Looks like Lone Druid won the Midas race down bottom. Oh wait. Yeah, okay, it's on the courier. There we go. It's on its way back now. So, barely beating up the Phoenix though. I mean, Tim's is actually doing pretty well. Say, considering. Start farming up his own here. But, of course, you can, you know, take Ancients at 11 minutes Lone Druid, so slight advantage here to him. Yeah. And they're kind of taking the foot off the gas here. I don't know, Execration. Let's roll here, man.
I think they have to get the Midas first on Phoenix, and then they fight constantly. At least every single time Supernova's up. I think it's just really important for them to get the Midas on the Phoenix first before they start fighting, so that way they can continue to keep its levels moving. And this is actually a really good gank. This should be a successful kill on the Lone Druid.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, good spacing there, just to ensure there's no sort of a Savage Roar disaster. Seen that a few times these days. And Radiant, they don't seem to be aware of the smoke gank. I wonder if this will get a bed. They don't have the finger yet. That might be their undoing.
Well, Abed doesn't have his tornado up, so looks like successful kill. And intelligence gained. Can't forget about that silencer. It's a 6 already.
Yeah, they bring in the Haunt. Sionix will end up staying, so they now have the finger. Tim's is already low. He's trying to regen up as fast as he can here. Might throw it a wave, possibly from Chemo, to be like, where are these guys? I'm getting worried.
They're afraid of being dove. They definitely should not be sitting close to those trees.
Yeah, they got the Midas up now too, so I think maybe if they dive really deep and you get an egg off, there might be TPs, but it's kind of looking like this will just be forfeit here.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Not going for the dive just yet. Timms comes back in action now that he's got the Midas on cooldown.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
There's definitely no way Execration should give up the safe lane tower. But at the same time, it seems impossible for Taring to actually push it because they've got terrible, absolutely terrible pushing heroes. With these four, obviously. Lone Druid is clearly the exception.
Yeah, that's the thing. We've had some Zeus lineup issues. Oh my god. Alright.
That was fantastic. Tornado EMP, it's going to be a little too late to take advantage of the Supernova, but we'll probably still get at least one kill here. Ice, yeah, he's going to end up dying to the urn, and our Phoenix comes back. Missing out on the Sunray damage. Don't think it really mattered, though. Taring were easily out of there. Meanwhile, our Weaver versus Lone Druid matchup continues. And with the Swarm, they're actually kind of baiting this one out. They're trying bait the Weaver, just sticking around that way they can blow him up with Yamate, who made the TP rotation. But a good time lapse is going to be able to get him out. Yamate with some pretty decent control on his ultimate.
For the side of Taring, they pretty much just have to like wait. It's like, yeah, we drafted a Zeus and a Spectre. And 0 push on our support, so Lone Druid, you just do your thing, man. One day we'll get a tower.
Not sure how they thought they were going to kill that Weaver. I guess they didn't take it into thought the magic wand. Timms is definitely dead. Phoenix is going to die to 2 supports.
Zeus KS? Nice.
Yeah. Gotta get that experience, man. Gotta get that experience.
Did they global because they thought he had egg?
I'm not sure. Maybe he doesn't realize the strength of Last Word versus Phoenix.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I don't know.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Weaver, no HP, but no globals to take advantage of him. Tornado comes out, will be able to latch onto Yamate, clearing through his entire mana pool and doing a lot of damage. That are actually going to be able to catch the Spectre as well. Walrus Punch, raring up, and we'll be able to take him out with that double damage. So, good play there from Execration. Once again, keeping the Spectre down for as long as possible. Still have to worry about this Lone Druid, though. He's got 2k gold in the bank and working his way towards that relic. They're going to try and catch him now. TP in by the Tusk, hoping... Oh, man, it's just too late. You get the Savage Roar out as well. Nando's still going to go for it solo here, but the Lion's here to be able to counter him out. They don't have Finger of Death, so they can't actually stop him. Maybe they kill the bear, though. Oh, he kills him. There we go.
Yeah, the Swarm's actually so good against the bear. Like, because if you can actually create that gap, there's nothing that the bear can even do. You're just guaranteed to not get the return.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Egg's back up, but I don't know about this one.
Yeah, he's gonna pop the egg like pretty early if he wants to be able to stop Ling. He's gonna be hit by the silence. Looks like our Spectre's still gonna end up dying here. The Supernova does go out, and Ling is gonna be forced back. Zeus ultimate laid out, but it doesn't actually finish anybody off. The Supernova exploding. They kill the silencer. Get some more damage onto Yamate. They're actually going for it. The swap back here. Lightning Bolt goes off, but it's on the wrong target. It doesn't even finish off the Vengeful Spirit as they trade tower hits pretty efficiently, keeping everyone alive. And now Abed will run down Ling.
All right. I was not expecting that to go so well, considering Abed wasn't even there. You know, he just kind of makes his way in for the free kill right at the end. Got his Yule Scepter. He's almost, you know, what, 2,500 gold above the next highest person on his team. So things are looking well when he's not even involved.
Yeah. I'm a little bit surprised Spectre didn't go for that Vengeful Spirit kill. Because right as he revived, Vengeful Spirit was low enough that all you had to do was ult and dagger, and he was dead. But he was also next to the Invoker, so kind of questionable.
So now for Taring, it pretty much just comes down to the old Radiance, one would imagine. Like drums into probably just the Fusel Blade would make the most sense, obviously, unless you're really keen on stacking Radiances or something over here. But the Blink Dagger will also be up around the same time here for a Ling. Yamte, he's already got up his Aether Lens, so things are looking pretty good on their side, I'd say, item-wise, considering they're now down 5k. Which, man, that happened quickly, but it almost looks like someone like dropped an item or something when that happens. Jeez, it is just immediate 5k gain.
All right, Invoker is going on the hunt right now. He's got the Yule Scepter. He's got almost maxed out Wex already. So, running around the map like a madman. Just hasn't found anybody because Taring are pretty much all bottom except for our Spectre. Abed, he's thinking about it. He's thinking about it real hard.
I wonder why he didn't go for the Orchid. I guess that worried about Silencer, but
yeah.
with his like all-out aggression and like the way that they would have to respond, it would have been an interesting choice as well. But this is definitely the safer route, especially when he has so much net worth on him.
Stun onto Link. Vector ultimate goes down, but the Lion is already dead. They're gonna try and chase down the Vengeful Spirit, but she's actually way too tanky. The Snowball turnaround here onto the Spectre. They're gonna be able to catch him out and go for a little bit more. Long-range Tornado, not gonna latch though. And Taring will be able to back out with the rest of their heroes alive, but they're probably gonna have to give up their tier 2.
Yeah, this is pretty perfect right now. Lone Druid still just finishing up that relic now. He wants to send that courier over. So free tower in the mid lane. They've already got this nice aggressive ward going on over here, so they can start kind of closing on this.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
For now, they could also hit the Roshan at some point if they'd like. Secure up some of these towers too. And honestly, it just comes down to Radiance, like Radiance Diffusal. When you talk about these bigger items, the actual high ground doesn't seem that scary though, does it, from Taring?
Yeah, I mean, they've got Zeus. Zeus is really good at defending, especially since he has his Aether Lens. So, he really needs the Veil of Discord, though, to be the full Zeus high ground defender. TP out from our lone Druid. It's 15-7 right now. Roshan just being taken by Execration. They're up by 5k. And they also have a Pipe of Insight. Wow. Phoenix second item Pipe. Didn't expect that one, but it makes a lot of sense, and it takes care of the Zeus.
Yeah, that's a game-winning, like, timing item pickup right there. This is the kind of stuff that you want to do. This will really help them close out. Maybe not high ground, hopefully. I'm sure that's the goal, is that it's going to be getting you high ground, but for now, it's definitely going to secure these last towers. Like, it's still going to be hard to take these fights, even if you have all those globals up and available now, with this pipe coming out.
Yeah.
I like the bed's positioning as well while they push.
Burns out the Bears' mana. No Savage Roar for you.
Yeah, there you go. That's the solution. We finally found it.
You know what I think to balance Lone Druid? I think what they need to do is make it so the Lone Druid hero takes more damage when the Spirit Bear dies. I think it's an absurdly low amount of damage that he takes.
Well, what is it now? Like 10? For some reason, like 10% comes to mind, but
yeah, 10%. So it's less than 300 damage. Timo getting savaged by a bear, but they'll be okay. It's got Pipe, they've got Mech. They're just chipping away at this tier 3 tower. The funny thing is, they shouldn't even be ready for the push. Execration just happened to be far enough ahead. The timing push should actually be more around Roshan number 2 with Desolator. But so if you can't go high grounds, might as well try to get some damage on the tier 3. Probably going to go again, I think, still with this Aegis. Should try and abuse the Spectre while she's still so behind in net worth.
Yeah, it is a little bit scary going high ground without some of those big items like that Deso, but at the same time, I guess every single time they go high ground, they're drawing all 5 heroes over here, just making sure there's no farm going on over in that jungle, especially because they did get some D wards thanks to having that Zeus. And they'll have to be a little bit craftier with their wards here. Like, this kind of stuff is good. Things that aren't going to be immediately deward. You can see they did miss that one over there. And then they also end up missing it thanks to this sentry, too. So, solid stuff from the support's Execration. There you go, guys. Take that into your games. I mean, that's the kind of wards that will just never get dewarded.
Yeah.
So that's good stuff.
Pretty good ward. Unfortunately, it doesn't see all the way over here, so it doesn't see this pathway. But the fact that it scouts out the lane is good enough. Taring going for a pick off here on the Zeus with the Veil of Discord and a lot of damage. Almost able to finish him off. The Savage War actually not able to latch. Looks like they're still going to be able to catch him out though. The Radiant's there. Nando's going to try and kill the Spirit Bear. Turn damage. Not allowing it to get away. Fortunately, the bear is super fast. Max movement speed. Unfortunately, there's still Abed, who is just a little bit faster. He's got Ghost Walk, Tornado. It's the bear, but I don't think they can actually run it down anymore.
Wow, that is a slippery bear. But yeah, once the bug wears off, not quite as easy anymore. I wonder what Abed's gonna go for here for his siege. Let's get a couple different options. I wouldn't mind just like an AC or something, honestly. Just like more auras.
Yeah, he could turn into a pretty powerful right clicker later on to the game. So he could get AC now, Scythe of Ice after that. And, I don't know, MKB, start going late game.
Yeah, it's either that or if you want to set up for like Blink or something like that, or just rely fully on Nando. Alright, mega safe, we'll go BKB. Also acceptable.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Again, dealing with the silencer. So now Abed can just run in with alacrity on him. BKB not caring about Zeus or Radiant's Burn or Silencer. They're trying to go high ground again.
Sage is about to wear off though.
Nando, don't even care about the creep wave. Just start right-clicking that tier 3. Alright. Well, there goes the Aegis, and there goes the push. Execration. Gonna back down. They really need a big pick-off if they're gonna try and go high ground without the Aegis. And looks like that's what they're gonna aim for.
It's quite the fake back. Considering they saw the silencer doing like all this warding around here, they are correct though, there is no vision. Question is, will they actually fall for it?
They need to flash somebody top. That's the problem right now. Because the top lane, if you really did back away, if you just think about this, if you really did back away from the bottom lane, one of your heroes would absolutely TP top because the lane's pushing in. You want to be able to farm that and push it out. But yeah, because nobody did that, it was really obvious for Taring to read that, okay, they're obviously still trying to make something happen. We don't know exactly what, but they're obviously, maybe they're 5-banning in the off-lane camp. Maybe they smoked up and they're going through a jungle. You know, they don't know exactly what's happening, but they know it's definitely something aggressive.
Now, I'm gonna guess that they're not expecting to be down here. A little bit of the roundabout route here, for the side of Execration. I'm not sure. Like, they can see Spectre in the mid, but he's pretty deep right now with no one else showing, so.
Nando just used his Shikuchi. This is not good. Gets the time lapse off, immediately gets silenced up and blown to bits. Alright. Well, he got his other Mythal Hammer. I don't think he lost, like, hardly any gold at all. In fact, yeah, I don't think he lost any gold. He has 20 reliable gold still, and I think that's what he was at when I watched him die. So, you know,
yeah,
something gained for Taring, nothing really lost for Execration.
I'm pretty sure he only had like 2,400 or something when they were sieging high ground. So, yeah, I think he did just actually buy those out. Yeah, he loses the farming time, but could have been quite a bit worse. So he'll basically have death. So as soon as he pops back up, it's only 300 gold. And what do we have now? So we have Haunt. Thunder God's Wrath will be back by the time they have to do anything, so we'll Haunt. That's the thing, I feel like we always used to talk about like beating timings and like beating Ravage and like, oh, you gotta go twice again and everything, but no. And Jay, this would be a big kill.
Nice Dual Scepter on that bear, actually able to dodge the Savage Roar, and will be able to very cleanly get that kill because of that play. Very smart stuff by Abed.
Well, that's an easy timing to see and try and beat here. So 50 seconds. See if they can force anything out. The big old push. Another big rotation coming out from the side of Taring, though.
I mean, they know they have to get a pick off now on Weaver before the push comes. Not going to happen, though. Yamate just giving him the casual bad-mannered TP or something. I don't know. I don't even know. Like
I'm kind of surprised they didn't try and push mid a little bit, but they're just trying to stay grouped as 5. I guess they don't want to give anything away.
Or nor should they. Desolator coming in. Got a really good chance of maybe not ending the game, but crippling Taring right here. Look at that alacrity. Weaver damage combined with Geminate. Stuff right there.
Pipe Dota. Yeah, it lasts so long, too.
They've still got Guardian Greaves to fall back on as well. So they can continue to siege this. There's no reason to back out. An early Roshan, relatively, 1.5 minutes. But I think they're doing the right play. I think they just stick around this bottom lane and continue to kind of poke at it and check Roshan from time to time. Sure enough, they're going to keep the courier there.
Yeah, on the bear.
Good quick pick off on the bear, but they lose Vengeful Spirit anyway. They cost them the Finger of Death, though, as well as the Global Silence. So I don't think Execration are going to be too upset about that one. As to whether or not they want to keep going, that's something else entirely. I think without their ultimates, Karen can actually fight these 4.
Yeah, I would say so as well. Like, no Haunt, no Thunder God's Wrath.
Ooh, Tornado barely missing on Ling. That could have been an easy kill if he'd hit that. Yeah, it's just too hard. Too hard to push.
A lot of it really is on these tornadoes. Like, if he catches 2 people inside, they're just gonna all run in. They're just gonna dive with egg and everything. EMP.
Maybe this game is going faster than I have thought. This is not an early Roshan. Actually, quite a little bit of a later one.
It does look like they'll still be able to secure it here. Geez, if they actually spot it. Oh, they're gonna lose your rune. How perfect. So, don't know exactly when it spawns. Well, we're already at 1,500 gold onto Nando, and another 2k here on top of a bed, so they can look for that kind of second round of sieging items here. I think some of these blinks might be useful, even if it is just going to be on, like, RR or something like that. Something to give, like, a little bit of vision.
Manta, but no diffusal still. Spectre is so far behind.
Yeah. It'll still let them blow up one. Well, I don't know. They've been really tight. Like, even while sieging, there's not like any scary AoE abilities, right? Like, everything's just global. So there's no reason not just stand like this, and you're not going to get like this one support over here you can Manta and kill with Desolate.
Yeah, plus their supports are pretty tanky. They have good supports at being able to deal with the Spectre jumping them.
Yeah. That's really, to me, that's really questionable to go for a Manta in this kind of scenario. Like, it makes you wonder, like, what it's really giving you versus something like the earlier Diffusal. I'd be interested to know why he's feeling that's better. I guess maybe solo pickoffs or something.
Yeah, I'm not sure. They're not going to have the opportunity for solo pickoffs, that's for sure.
Oh, and this is pretty readable as well, the Desperation Smoke. We'll see if they try and like take an aggressive stance or just fall all the way back. It looks like all the way back. They're doing a really good job of just 5-man Dota. Like, why give it up? I mean, I gotta say, it is a little bit scary because they haven't still gotten too much in the past like 8 minutes or so. They got 1 melee racks, but obviously over time they're getting a wee bit stronger here over on the side of Taring.
I like how Execration, after just taking that melee Rex, head up to the top lane. Not trying to like push out mid or worry about the range racks bottom lane. I think this is the best way to abuse Taring at this point.
Yeah, it's also nice where they have like a little bit of vision too, just in case. Might give you a little bit of info as to where they are or where they aren't. And what's left now? Everything's up now. So we got our haunt, we got our globals. Jeez, still only level 10 here on the silencer. Not that it makes the biggest difference, but
Lincoln's and BKB. I thought BKB was actually originally the item. I was a bit surprised when he went Lincoln, so I thought it was just going to be BKB straight Desolator. But
yeah,
obviously he's got to worry about that. Nice shards. Not blocking anybody out. Ooh, Nando actually just loses his Aegis for free. No significant ultimate pop there. Lion is going to be a bit off the mark, though, with his timing, and he'll go down. He does have buyback, though, and he still has that Finger of Death, so he needs to be able to find the opening with a Phoenix Egg. Supernova explodes, Finger of Death goes out onto the Vengeful Spirit, doesn't even finish him off, and Taring have pretty much won this game now. They just won a big fight inside the base, second light of Rax, and Nando clears super.
That was the egg, man. That was a solid egg play.
Yeah.
Some good stuff. Not too crazy deep, but just that right positioning and where the Aegis is popping up combined with a tornado.
Another attempt here. Beautiful Sunray, though, healing a lot of heroes and doing damage onto two. One of them's already gone. The Spectre goes down after landing from the tornado. A hard fall for him indeed. Taring 21-11 on the ropes here, and apparently they're just not going to give up till the bitter end.
All right, sick. So the slightly less meta draft here ends up getting beat. I think they did all the right timings. They had really good lanes. I think that was the right setup. Considering the lanes didn't go like that masterfully well, like both teams had some pretty decent early rotations. The fact that Taring struggled so long getting that tower down bottom was probably their biggest like issue during that state or the early laning stage, and then kind of similarly up top where they had that big like attempted gank by Execration. They kind of, you know, whipped that one a little bit. Invoker comes back mid, and then the big rotations top. But other than that, like despite it being a relatively, I would say, almost stable laning phase, I think the way the Execration had it all set up, it did just mean that the Spectre couldn't get it out of control. They kind of had like picked their poison, you know. They went with the lone druid and just focused more on the Spectre instead.
Did Taring not get the memo that this is best of 3?
Yeah, I don't know. This seems like maybe we're just gonna wear them down, thinking about draft for the next game or something. I guess. Maybe. Yeah, I gotta say I was kind of expecting some G's to be thrown.
Oh well. Well, for those of you guys who are wondering, while we casually watch the end of this game because it's coming. This is the Southeast Asia qualifier for ESL One Frankfurt. Taring versus Execration is the very first round of games. The winner of this best of 3 will move on to face Fnatic. So these guys are not in the most favorable position to start with, facing up against the strongest seed team right now. After this series, though, we are going to follow WG Unity versus Rave, which will be pretty interesting.
Oh, Warriors?
Yeah, Warriors.
Nice. I was unaware.
Yeah, Warriors is
there's some Dota players, man.
yeah, there's something else, man. I can't believe they actually went that far and went to the finals against Fnatic in, what was it, the Epicenter qualifiers?
Yeah, must have been.
Yeah.
It's the only thing I think it would have been.
Meanwhile, Rave are obviously like a newer crew. The JO returning back to the C region, Ninja Boogie and Rior. So it's definitely going to be